Good morning, students. Today we are going to see English Unit 2 Supplementary Zigzag. Unit 2 Supplementary Zigzag. Zigzag is a supplementary written by Asha Nimaya. Asha Nimaya. Now we will see about the author Asha. She was born in 1958 in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, and now still she is living alive. She lives at Bengaluru. She has always interested in writing. While growing up, her love for books and reading led to her study in literature in the college. Humor, fantasy, mystery, and adventure are the strong elements in her work. Humor, fantasy, mystery, and adventure are the strongest elements. The first collection of stories is Granny's Saree. It was reprinted 9 times. Her book, The Raja's Mustang, awarded the first prize in the competition for the writers of children's book conducted by Children Book Trust. Her book, The Raja's Mustang, awarded the first prize in the competition for the writers of children's book conducted by Children Book Trust. And her books have been translated into several languages like Bengali, Assamese, Hindi, Tamil, and etc. She believes that stories are a wonderful way to get children thinking about and talking about various issues. Now we will see the lesson Zigzag, supplementary Zigzag. Here are the main characters of Zigzag. The main characters of Zigzag, the story. Main characters are Dr. Ashok T. Krishnan. He is a doctor, child specialist, and Somu, Krishnan's best friend. Mrs. Krishnan, she is a talented artist. She is a painter. She paints more pictures. Aravind, Krishnan's son. He is the elder son. And Maya, Krishnan's daughter. She is younger. Visu, Somu's cook. Lakshmi, Mrs. Krishnan's maid. And Mrs. Junjunwala, she is an art critic. Now we will see the summary of this Zigzag. This is the story about Zigzag. A multilingual talking, singing bird. Now we will see about the story Zigzag. Zigzag is a harmless bird. This is the story about Zigzag, a harmless bird. It is a multilingual talking, singing bird. Zigzag, it can speak about 21 languages and it can sing in 21 languages. Dr. Krishnan's clinic, Dr. Ashok T. Krishnan's clinic is usually sounded noisy because of the yelling and crying of the children. Dr. Krishnan's cousin Somu asked him to keep his pet Zigzag with him for some time. Dr. Krishnan's family were surprised to see the strange and weird looking bird. They had never seen such a strange, huge bird. Somu's cook, Visu, said that the bird could recite French poetry. It can talk and sing in about 21 different languages. Zigzag is about a foot and half tall. Its head was bordered with a crown of shocking pink feathers. The rest of its plumage was its various shades. Its curved beak was a sunflower yellow, and its eyes were the color of cola. Aravind, the doctor's son, gave Zigzag a plate of juicy fruit salad with some nuts. But Zigzag transferred all the walnuts and fruits to the chandelier and the blades of the ceiling fan. Next, it perched on the curtain rod and went to sleep. Zigzag, it snored loudly and then very loudly. Even every member in the Dr. Krishnan's family tried to wake the bird, but in vain. When Mrs. Krishnan's maid switched on the fan into their studio, all the fruits and nuts fell from it. One slice of overripe papaya came whizzing off the fan and spattered on the Mrs. Krishnan's unfinished masterpiece. It spread streaks of orange pulp and shiny black seeds all over it. Mrs. Krishnan was upset and wanted to shoot Zigzag. She ran to her husband and take Zigzag away. Dr. Krishnan sent an email to Somu asking for a clear instruction on how to stop Zigzag's snoring. On the seventh day, he received a message stating that Zigzag hardly ever sleeps and he had never heard him snore. Mrs. Krishnan persuaded Dr. Krishnan to take Zigzag away. So, Dr. Krishnan to take Zigzag away. So, Dr. Krishnan took the bird to the clinic. There, Zigzag started commanding everyone in the clinic. It was doing its job for which he was trained earlier. All its bored and grumpy expressions vanished. The clinic, which was a noisy sea of tears, had transformed into a calm and orderly place. The painting on which the papaya fell was liked by the art critic, and she brought it for rupees 5,000. So Mrs. Krishnan was happy about, and she invited Zigzag into their home. She wanted to shelter the bird for another week. Now we will see the supplementary lesson. Dr. Ashok T. Krishnan's clinic usually sounded more like an ancient Chinese torture chamber than a child specialist clinic. This was because the tiny children who were his patients left out a variety of blood-curdling yells and ear-splitting sobs. Dr. Ashok T. Krishnan's clinic was sounded like a Chinese torture chamber because it was a child specialist clinic, and he is a doctor, he is a child specialist. So his clinic sounded like a Chinese torture chamber. It's all because my patients were making so much of noise and crying so loudly. He apologized to his wife one evening that Somu couldn't hear me properly. Dr. Ashok is asking sorry to his wife, Mrs. Krishnan, because Somu couldn't hear him while he was talking through phone when he was in the clinic. He rang me in the clinic to ask whether he could keep Zigzag with us when he leaves for Alaska. Somu, he is going to Alaska, so he asked Dr. Ashok T. Krishnan to keep his pet Zigzag with him, with his family. And now Somu thinks I said yes even though I clearly said no. Somu thinks that Dr. Ashok T. Krishnan said yes, but he clearly said that no to keeping his pet Zigzag. I know you are busy getting your painting ready for your exhibition next week. Dr. Ashok T. Krishnan is saying to his wife that she was very busy with her painting to get ready for the exhibition. Zigzag interrupted their 9-year-old daughter Maya. While Dr. Ashok T. Krishnan and Mrs. Krishnan are talking, Maya interrupted their talk. Zigzag interrupted their 9-year-old Maya. Is it that Uncle Somu's prized giant green and gold fighting beetle, the one that splits deadly poison straight into its opponent's eye? Isn't it? Is that a green gold fighting beetle? Maya thinks that Zigzag is a giant green and gold fighting beetle. She thinks that it was a beetle, one spits a deadly poison into the opponent's eye. No, corrected her older brother Aravind, eyes shining in the pure delight. The beetle is called Spitfire. Zigzag must be Uncle Somu's pet snake. Father Aravind corrected Maya that the beetle is called Spitfire and Zigzag must be Uncle Somu's pet snake, the African sidewinder. Maybe Zigzag is an African sidewinder snake. You know, the one that slithers Zigzag all over his house. You are both quite mistaken. Their father hastened to explain, seeing his wife's horrified expression. Zigzag is a most harmless, unusual and lovable bird. Apparently, it was a breed by the genuine African witch doctor who gifted it to Somu when he, being a child specialist like me, cured the witch doctor's son while he was touring the deepest jungles of equatorial Africa last month. Her father, Maya's father, Dr. Ashok T. Krishnan, explained that Zigzag is a most harmless bird and a lovable bird. Apparently, it was a breed by a genuine African witch doctor who gifted it to Somu. Who gifted it to Somu when he being a child specialist like me. That African witch doctor gifted it to Somu because Somu cured that African witch doctor's son when he was touring the deepest jungle of the Africa. Somu says the bird is an absolute treasure and a real help. Somu said that it was that Zigzag is an absolute treasure and a real help to him. It is his favorite pet, you know. Somu might be Somu might be your best friend, but most of these so-called favorite possessions that he has given us were absolute nuisances, countered Mrs. Krishnan angrily. Somu might be your best friend, but most of his gifts, presents were absolute nuisances, said Mrs. Krishnan. A talented artist, she applied a dab of yellow orchard paint onto her painting, tilted sunset at Marina, paused for a moment to survey the effect and then continued. Remember the rare insect-eating plant he brought back from the wettest corner of the Amazon rainforest. He insisted that we keep it because it would eat the mosquitoes in the house, and now that rich plant requires a room heater to keep it alive in Chennai. Somu had given, remember the rare insect-eating plant. Somu had given a plant that eats insects. He brought back from the wettest corner of the Amazon rainforest. Somu had brought an insect-eating plant from Amazon rainforest. For now that rich plant requires a room heater to keep it alive in Chennai. In Chennai, it is very hot. So, to keep that plant, insect-eating plant alive, the Dr. Ashok T. Krishnan had to put room heater. Ma, protested Aravind. That's not really true. Uncle Somu's given us some really fabulous gifts. Ma, for that Aravind protested her mother, Mrs. Krishnan, that's not really true. Uncle Somu has given so many really fabulous gifts. Right. Remember the tiny penknife he gave me last year, the one with a genuine sharp tooth blade that has been really useful. Maya joined that protest. Maya joined with Aravind. She said that, remember, the tiny penknife Uncle Somu has given her a tiny penknife which was made of sharp tooth blade. No one but you, Maya, Mrs. Krishnan told her daughter sternly, would describe a penknife that has cut open the pockets of 3 skirts and 2 pairs of jeans as really useful. That sharp tooth blade penknife had cut open the pockets of 3 skirts and 2 jeans of Maya. And what about the aboriginal boomerang Uncle Somu brought us all the way from Australia? Demanded Aravind. You can't deny that it was a great hit with everyone. You might have known that boomerang is an equipment when we throw the boomerang, it comes back to us. Which was brought from Australia, demanded Aravind. He said to his mother, you can deny that it was a great hit with everyone. Great hit indeed. Mrs. Krishnan didn't bother to hide her sarcasm and continued. Considering that the boomerang sliced through all the TV aerials in the neighborhood, caused permanent damage to several cars in the parking lot, and knocked out our watchman cold with the force you threw it. Yes, when you threw the boomerang, it can slashed through all the TV antennas and caused the total damage and permanent damage to several cars and TV antennas. But zigzag is different. Somu says we are sure to love zigzag. So Dr. Krishna, because the bird can talk and sing in about 21 different languages, mostly African languages, of course. When it sings, it moves the listeners to ears. But Dr. Krishna said that zigzag is different. It will be very useful and helpful. Somu says that we are sure to love zigzag because zigzag can talk and sing in about 21 different languages, mostly African languages. It's Somu's thoughtless ways that reduced me to tears. Mrs. Krishnan said irritably, "What a time to dump this multilingual, talking, singing bird on us. Here I am tied up in knots trying to get my paintings together for the exhibition next week. May I take zigzag to school, Papa?" Aravind, as always, was planning ahead. "I want to display him in the science exhibition." For that, Mrs. Krishnan said that Somu's thoughtless way that reduced me to tears. After that, Aravind asked his father that may I take zigzag to my school because he wanted to display the zigzag in the science exhibition. "When is zigzag coming, Papa?" Maya was jumping up and down, all excited. Maya asked her father that when is zigzag coming? Uncle Somu said he would send zigzag with his old cook Visu sometime today. Uncle Somu said that he will give zigzag to his cook, old cook Visu, today. "I will have to leave for my clinic now." That he added as the doorbell rang. That's probably them. Dr. Ashok Krishnan added that I will leave for my clinic now. While saying that, there was a doorbell ringing. That's probably them. And indeed it was. "Come in, zigzag, come in, dear," called the whistle, and in captured the stranger, weirdest looking bird the Krishnan family had ever seen. The zigzag and whistle had come to Dr. Krishnan's house. "Come in, zigzag, come in," called whistle. Then only Dr. Krishnan's family members have seen the strangest, weirdest looking bird, zigzag. About a foot and a half tall, its bare head was fringed with a crown of shocking pink feathers, while the rest of its plumage was in various shades of muddiest, sludgiest brown. Its curved beak was sunflower yellow, and its eyes were the color of cola held to sunlight. This para describes the appearance of the zigzag. It was about a foot and a half tall, and its bald head was sprinkled with a crown of shocking feathers, while the rest of its plumage was in various shades of muddiest, sludgiest brown. Its plumage means bird's feathers, was in various shades of color.
Its curved beak. Its beak was in the sunflower yellow, and its eyes were the color of cola. This is zigzag, announced Vishu with a flourish. Vishu introduced zigzag to the Dr. Krishnan family members. His full name is Vidyalaya, king of the Sangha. Zigzag's full name is Vidyalaya, king of the Sangha. How I am going to miss him? So beautifully he taught. He can even recite French poetry. Vishu said that he was going to miss the zigzag, and beautifully the way the zigzag starts. The object of all this prize was standing cool and unmoved, with the expression of almost human grumpiness in his cola-colored eyes. Arvind, finding that zigzag was sulky, refusing to say a word despite all their efforts at striking a conversation, dashed into the kitchen to return with a plate heaped hurriedly with the juicy fruit slices and some nuts. While talking with the zigzag, Arvind went to the kitchen and he took a plate full of juicy fruit and some nuts to the zigzag. Both eyes brightened momentarily as zigzag picked up a walnut, but refusing to speak, he dropped one wrinkled eyelid in a solemn wing and flew clumsily to deposit the nut on the enormous chandelier hanging from the ceiling. Zigzag picked up one walnut and he dropped one wrinkled eyelid and deposited the walnut into the chandelier hanging from the ceiling. Bit by bit, in the total silence, all the fruit on the plate was transferred to the chandelier and on the blades of the ceiling fan. Now switched off. While all the juicy fruits and the nuts were transferred from the plate to the ceiling fan and the chandelier. Then, perching comfortably on the cushion on the curtain rod, Zigzag dropped one wizened eyelid and the other salmon wing as he sank his beak into a plump guava. Then he perched himself. He sat himself on the curtain rod and Zigzag. He sank his beak into a plump guava. Don't worry, children, Vishu comforted as he left, noticing how disappointed they looked when Zigzag stubbornly refused to say a single word to them, even though they tried speaking to him in English, Hindi, Tamil and French. Vishu comforted the children that, don't worry children, Zigzag will speak to you. Even the children were trying to speak with the Zigzag in English, Hindi and Tamil and even with the French. Just wait. Zigzag settled down in this new home. There you can have a great time listening to him. Children, just wait for a while because Zigzag have to settle down in the new home so that you can have a great time with the Zigzag. As it happened, the children didn't have to wait more than 10 minutes to have a great time listening to Zigzag. For as soon as Vishu left, Zigzag, still perched on the curtain rod, went off to sleep. And the moment he fell asleep, he began to snore. After Visu left the home, Zigzag and the children didn't have to wait more than 10 minutes to listen to the zigzag. After the Visu left, Zigzag, still on the curtain rod, went off to sleep. The moment the zigzag fell asleep, he began to snore. And what a snore it was! It began as a soft, grumbly sort of rumble, much like that which the stomach of a mildly hungry dinosaur might have been. Then it grew louder and louder and louder until it sounded as if a herd of elephants with cold was trumpeting angrily in the room. The snoring of the zigzag was like the stomach of a mildly hungry dinosaur. And the snoring sound grew louder and louder until as if sounded it was the snoring of the zigzag is like a herd of elephants with cold was trumpeting angrily in a room. Zigzag snore pounded their eardrums till their heads ached. Zigzag's snore made the family members to headache. In vain did they try to wake the snoring bird. 21 languages he is supposed to know, snorted Mrs. Krishna. Yet this bird chooses to communicate only in Snorish, Snorian, and Snorlu. She complimented that the zigzag knows 21 languages he is supposed to know, but that bird zigzag communicate with us only in the snoring language. I thought that it was a scientific fact that birds couldn't snore, said Maya, trying to squirt water from a small water pistol at Zigzag to wake him and wetting most of the curtains on the walls and a sofa instead. Maya said that she thought that it was a scientific fact that birds couldn't snore. So she was trying to wake the bird Zigzag by a small water pistol at the Zigzag to wake him, but she was wetting most of the curtains, the walls and a sofa. Students, now we will end this session, and we will continue the rest of the lesson in the next class. Thank you, children.